he took us to this random massage parlor where he's like, "You guys go, you guys have boom boom, you have
Yeah. I come back in 20-30 minutes. Yeah, I remember.
This video contains abusive language and stories that are not to be taken seriously. अगर आप गाली गलौज से easily offend हो जाते हो, ये video तुम्हारे लिए नहीं है.
Hey guys, so welcome to this episode of a podcast that I'm trying. हम सभी quarantine में बैठे हैं घर पे, and I thought I would entertain you guys, or I would give you some insights of traveling, talking about different stuff that I've gone through while traveling, and incredible and amazing and unique stories that me and my friends have witnessed while on the road while exploring the world. So welcome to this new episode of Musafir ki Baatein. That's what I think I'm gonna call it right now. But let's see. But yeah, it's just I'm trying to do something, professional type here.
Yeah. But I look too unprofessional, bro. मैं तेरे
No,
सीधा
it-
मुंह पे
अरे, it's okay. You're
look ना मैं pretend mic लेके आता हूँ, bro. Hello.
ठीक है.
Yeah. Akshat Daga right
Yes,
here.
yes. Well, pleasure to have you, sir.
Yes.
What-
Stressful mind, baby.
How's the quarantine period been going for you guys?
It's like, bro, it's like people think that it's a bad time, but for me, it's actually a good time because I'm getting time to like spend on myself,
Yeah.
So
I heard that you're reading a lot of books.
Bro, I've ticked off like 3 books, bro, and right now I'm reading a lot of like autobiographies and bit of fiction and shit. It's good, bro. It's a good scene. Like I like it because the more you read, now the more your brain thinks. It's a good
I've
thing. And I'm
not,
watching a lot
I've
of
not
movies.
been able to read, bro. I've been binge
Shit,
watching shows. But something new I'm doing is like learning how to do bhangra and dance with a few
Whoa.
people. Yeah.
Bro, show me some moves, bro. What is this one?
Not this one. The proper dance. But yeah, it's just a group of strangers that I knew 1 or 2 people. They added me, and now like we are doing like Zoom calls every day for learning how to dance and all.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so like we have this new thing going. Today, let's talk about one trip that both of us experienced together.
Right,
And
we're excited. Oh, no,
October
damn.
of 2019, the infamous
boss.
Vietnam bachelor trip.
Yeah, it's my first backpacking trip, all thanks to you, buddy.
Yeah, but actually we बचपन से हम लोगों को किधर जाना था, but we had never expected कि इतना जल्दी हो जाएगा. And like we remember like when we were in 10th, me, you and Darsh were talking about going to Dubai or something, Singapore for like 3-4 days. And then look at what an interesting turn of events later.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
Vietnam, bro. So yeah.
What about you, bro? What's one thing you like? If I tell you Vietnam, what's one thing that pops up in your head?
Hair of the dog.
Oh,
Hair of the Dog was like a big chain of clubs all around south to north of Vietnam. And koi bhi tarike se, by the end of the night, we would always end up in Hair of the Dog without any...
for sure. It's
in
like,
every city that we were, there was a Hair of the Dog.
Like back to square one, bro.
Randomly we used to get back to that place. So Hair of the Dog is one of the most unique things that I remember out of Vietnam. And Ban Mai. Ban Mai and the food over there.
Bro, the
very
first
unique
thing,
and very different.
But the first thing we put in our mouth was Ban Mai only, no?
No. The first thing we put in our mouth was that ice crushers from Circle K.
Oh, yeah.
Ice crushers. Ice crushers was an amazing drink. It's like you Mumbai mein, I think theaters mein used to get Frosties. Sorry. Maan kiya maine. Yeah, but
it was by far the best fucking drink I've had.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, see, it's like a slushy, but it's like the flavors too good, dude. Like there's bubblegum, there's fucking strawberry, there's one more, bro, I forgot.
Blueberry.
Yeah, blueberry.
Blueberry.
Bro.
And I think we had a mix of both those things that day.
We had all possible mixes, bro. Like we had all of it.
So
and like in every every city you go, every place, like, bro, there was a Circle K. It's like apna, what is it called? It's like 7-Eleven, Babu Kachal.
Yeah. It's like Udar ka 7-Eleven. So I think that was the first thing that we had, and that like obviously blew our minds of ki, chalo, this is a good start to the trip.
Yeah.
After that, I think we went to a cat cafe and all that. Remember
No, so
those?
before the cat cafe, we were eating na Banmai.
Yeah, we were eating banmai. Yeah.
Bro, so
Remember what?
that guy was giving us a proper description and all, and he was saying stay away from thieves and all because your camera was too
Yeah.
out in the open, you know.
Sophisticated and all. You're like,
Yeah.
mat ghus
It's like your
jana.
camera looked too cool and all, bro. And I was like, shit, yeah, actually.
Like
But
he
like,
gave us a fair warning in the start, but I don't
yeah,
think during the entire trip I felt unsafe in that
yeah,
manner.
that's true.
Yeah, it was.
Except for Fongna, like, bro, that was all. Like, Fongna was scary the way it was, but
It was just like a very unique, out of the place town in the middle of nowhere.
It was like a ghost town, bro, in the night. Like,
Obviously, it was like there was only like half a kilometer of proper developed area, and everything else was like
it's a gaon, bro. It's a gaon, bro.
गाँव.
It's a
It was
gaon.
a proper गाँव.
Yeah.
उधर भी hair of the dog था, bro. But
Yeah,
that day we did not end up in
we
hair.
didn't go there. We didn't go there, bro. Yeah, that it was too good. Cat cafe, you know.
Oh, the cat cafe thing was such a coincidence. He was just walking on the biggest, loudest party street in Ho Chi Minh, Bui Vien. आजू बाजू सब जगह क्लब्स एंड उसमें से एक छोटी सी गली के ऊपर जाओ एंड
और क्या बास
completely
मारा था
silent.
ब्रो वहाँ पे वो जगह पे क्या बास मारा था I'm like bro are you sure it's a good idea and all like fuck it bro let's just go then we went bro and it was so pleasant bro like there was
Really,
actually,
it was so quiet and like
yeah.
you would not expect such a peaceful and unique place in the middle of this dik chik chal raha hai pura road bhara hua hai
Actually,
and then we went to this place. So
the
yeah,
fucking footwear was fancy as fuck bro I love that.
Do you have like
Cat ball.
fond memories of the party street, Bui Vien?
That was the one place we
street.
gone like we went like too many times there bro like in the start itself
Yeah,
and that was like go-to place bro because it's like where all the clubs are there in a straight line bro it's like Bhati market but for fucking clubs.
Yeah.
इधर नहीं तो चल इधर सस्ते में मिल रहा उधर जाते चल. It's like that,
and
bro.
it was so unique कि हम उस रास्ते पे चल रहे थे and then we would come across some weird shit. Some people doing like different magic tricks with fire. Some people like selling weird food hanging on those things.
Drug dealers coming to us, like, you want cocaine?
Yeah, bro, that street was fucking mad, bro. Prostitutes and all pulling out shirts and then come for a massage. And like Ho Chi Minh City was obviously the second biggest and old capital and all that. So a lot of fun stuff over there. Remember the night that we went to this capsule hotel in Ho Chi Minh City?
Bro,
that was
one fucking trippy place, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, although the day we came and all, bro, I was damn tired, okay? But like, bro, once it all sunk in now, like, oh fuck, bro, like, I've never seen Aisa in my life, bro. Like, you know? And plus, bro, when you go inside now, it's like your own sweet little room, bro. You're like, shit, bro, मैं इतने में सो रहा भी है, रह रहा भी है, सब कुछ कर रहा, bro. Actually, TV also right in front of me. It's like that, bro. And it was a good thing, like
teleporting to the future.
Yeah, I was like fucking Star Wars, bro. Like, you know, Star Wars का मजा feel आ रहा था मेरे को.
And I was like, we're going to the same city. Let's try a capsule hotel here.
Yeah.
Just randomly looked over the internet, found it, and then we ended up spending a night over there. And remember the Dutch guys that we met over there?
Oh, bro, the Amsterdam fuckers. Yeah.
Amsterdam guys. They were in the military.
Bro, like damn nice guys, bro. Like
those people were like Asians from Amsterdam. And it was like a pretty weird immigration scene over there. So yeah, we talked about that, and then like they were telling us that they were from the military, so they fuck with tourists that go over there.
Yeah, fuck. Like once he told you remember, like when he said, there was this guy smoking and all, and since it's legal in Amsterdam, the guy was like, "Hey, you can't smoke here," and he was in his uniform and all. Now he was like, "Hey, you can't smoke," and he's like, "Fuck, actually, I can't." Or like, bro, he shat his pants. He's like, "I'm fucking."
Like, no, this is just a cigarette.
Yeah. Was a damn funny guys. And then we met them later on again in what was
Hanoi.
that place? Hanoi, yeah.
But
Bro,
but bro, license se yaad hai, do you remember the first time we rode a scooty in Ho Chi Minh? Started raining so heavily, and then we were like so.
bro, that was the fucking worst, bro. Like, my dimag se atak gaya because like, bro, firstly, you don't know if you're gonna balance and all.
Yeah,
Second thing, you know it's raining.
yeah.
बहन जो तीसरेगा उसमें और फटती है bro. Like shit, bro. That's why I was telling you, bro. You only ride, bro. I can't fucking do this. Fuck it. छोड़ मेरे बस का नहीं है.
Man, it was an amazing
But bro,
time.
then later how we found that ये
Yeah,
abandoned highway, bro. Bro,
bro,
how do
that
you
was
race?
that was one of the most memorable parts of Ho Chi Minh for me. We
Yeah,
were
for
just
sure.
roaming around this place for street food, and then I was
Yeah.
just looking around in Google Maps कि ये river view कहाँ मिलेगा करके. Put my pin on a random location, and then we
Yeah.
were like, "Chal, fuck, let's go on the
Let's
motorcycle. I
go.
don't care if we get lost." Then we go there, and the whole road is fucking dark. We can see the skyline behind, and then both me and you are fucking so super confused that where did we end
Kidding
up?
high,
Like
bro. Yeah.
it was like a construction site, but there was nobody over there, and it was like fucking.
Right.
We ended up in the most abandoned part of the city, and then we got lost over there.
Yeah, and then it was such a pain, bro, asking those people. I don't know how you must have managed, bro. Like, क्या बोला था मेरे को
I was
समझ में ही नहीं आया. I was just sitting on a scooty. I'm like, shit, bro, let him do the talking. I'm just gonna chill here. मेरे बस
सारा
का
काम
नहीं है.
मेरे पे डाल दिया.
I was just chilling, bro. I was revving and all.
I was using Google Translate trying to explain.
Yeah,
And it was a pain, bro. I was like speaking into that phone and then उसको दे रहा था, वो भी कुछ बोल रहा था.
yeah,
And then translate was also fucking up. So कुछ और ही आ रहा था
yeah,
translation.
yeah,
Then
exactly.
finally we saw that highway and then we went and मजा आ
Hmm.
गया.
But it was good, bro. It was good to get lost also, like, bro, once I got lost in Korea, like, although in the start it's scary, but bro, later you're like, fine, bro, you can just ask
Yeah,
anybody and go where you
just
want to
ask
go.
anybody and just roaming around yourself is also a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like, where, like, even if it's fine, like, if you remember your hotel's name, bro, you can just
yeah.
ask anybody that. And
That's
koi to English bolega hai, bro. Like, that's not an issue. Because sometimes whether your phone dies or whatever.
Mm.
But yeah, bro, like, that was good.
And we went to those marble mountains.
Oh,
for
yeah. Right.
Yeah, that was also a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
and
then
again,
we
we
were
got lost.
yeah, we were lost over there, and then we were like, fuck,
Yeah.
now there's no way out. We have to go back
Yeah.
to our hotel and all that.
Yeah.
Finally, we find a place to go, and then
Yeah,
it was
luckily we
it
got
was a very nice and peaceful place. That
100%.
the temples and all were like completely amazing, and that
Like, the
viewpoint
energy
where we
was so
saw the
good, bro.
sunset.
Like, you just felt like you could immerse yourself
Hmm.
in the peace and, like, the tranquility, and you can just enjoy, bro. Like, you remember we went up there and, like, I think went in the
In a
shrine or
temple,
something.
in some place where this guy was chanting and then playing that I don't know.
Yeah, that big thing. Yeah, I know. I don't know what it's
And
called, but
yeah, both of us were just sitting over there for like 15 minutes with our eyes closed. It was
just meditating, chilling, bro. It was a good thing, like a good
it was
scene.
it was a
Then
nice
later we saw
pause
the
after all
yeah,
the wild party scenes that we had over there.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Best of everything, like
yeah, bro.
yeah.
But
That was great.
that temple reminds me that after you went back to India, I went to this place called Sapa. It's a big hill
Right,
station in the north of Vietnam. So me and
right.
my cousins, we paid a lot of money to go up by this
Cable
um,
car.
yeah, the line, I don't know what it's called, but then yeah, we paid a lot of money ऊपर जाने के लिए, and then
Hmm.
पूरा foggy था and there was nothing to see over there. मतलब all the iconic places were invisible because of the fog. So then we were
Oh
like,
fuck.
we saw another chanting temple, big ceremony or something was going. तो
Right.
then me and my cousins हम लोग घुस गए अंदर कि देखते हैं क्या चल रहा है उधर. So then there was
Yeah.
this weird guy with makeup and traditional Vietnamese clothes, and he was dancing with candles and all. And everyone around, the old ladies and all, proper Vietnamese old ladies, वहाँ पे traditional में, so they were clapping and then they were cheering. I went there. I thought, "Chal, it's a very good place to record something." brought out my camera. This random stranger approaches
Yeah.
me and he says, "Ki, yeah, what camera are you using? ये क्या है? मेरे
Hmm.
पास भी ऐसा similar." And then he was just started talking to me, and he said, "Why don't you join in? I'll let you record. You just join in with us."
Yeah.
Matlab, he made me sit between those like old aunties, and they were all
Right.
singing something in their
You should
traditional
clap
language.
really cool auntie. Oh.
Yeah, Vietnamese aunties. And
Right.
then this guy was playing with the fire. He's like, he's saying, "Ki, you give him an offering, he'll give you something."
Hmm.
So I got up, and the guy gave me a flower. I was like, "Kya hai?" Matlab, in a I thought it was a Buddhist temple, so I took the flower. I said, I just
Yeah.
bowed down to him. Then he gave me a
So he
glass.
didn't give the food.
Yeah, then he gave me a glass,
Uh,
and it was like this much full, like almost like 90 ml or something. And then
right.
I look at him and I said, "What is this? What am I supposed to do with this glass?" The stranger says that it's holy water.
Hmm.
Just drink it. I
Yeah.
look at it. I said, "चल ठीक है वैसे तो transparent ही दिख रहा है."
और पानी
I took
रहता
I
है.
took a big sip, and then I was like, "Fuck! What did I just drink?" Like
Yeah.
2 seconds later, I realized that the guy gave me some vodka spirit or something like that in the top
Right.
of Vietnam in some Buddhist
Fuck.
mount
Fuck.
Buddhist ceremony के बीच में he gave me this
Fuck.
alcohol, and then I drank it. I looked at him like, "What the fuck have you given me?" And
Yeah.
everyone around me, all those old ladies, they started
Yeah.
cheering and clapping. I did something big. And then after that, he gives me a note of like 50,000 dong, which is like 200
Uh,
rupees for
yeah.
drinking that. And then he's like,
Very
"Thank
well.
you." He gave me 200 rupees for drinking the alcohol that he gave me.
Right.
So then I went out and my brother's like, "Tonight's pizza is on you.
Uh,
you you got
you got
200
paid and you
rupees."
got drunk, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two on free.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was an very interesting thing that happened with me.
Hala, you went to the fucking this thing on the train road and all, bro. It was
Yeah, the train street, and it was supposed to
yeah.
be closed. Like everyone was telling me कि वहाँ पे नहीं जाओ.
Hmm.
Government has strictly imposed laws and
Yeah.
tourists can't enter over
Yeah.
there and all that.
Yeah. Even Key told us, bro, not to go
Yeah.
there.
So then you're like, "Fuck, what can I do?" But I really wanted a shot over there, and I really wanted to go and take pictures and all. Like in the morning, he tells me, "I know this guy who can sneak us into the train street and all that." He started randomly walking in that old quarter in Hanoi, and then we just sneaked
Yeah.
in. Then
हाँ.
there was this, but the only thing is that उधर cafes और सब होते हैं, वहाँ पे you have to sit and buy something. So then we are like,
अच्छा, because he must
let's.
be the guy from there. That's why.
So we bought something from the cafe, and then like in
Hmm.
10-15 minutes the train came, and it was like completely amazing. दो
Like,
building के
it's
बीच में से
that.
train घुस रही है, so that was a very unique thing that we did.
Yeah. But we're talking about cafes. Do you remember like this thing, bro? Egg coffee.
Egg coffee, yeah. I remember egg coffee. And in the start, I was very opposed to it because I'm not a big fan of eggs. Like,
Yeah,
how can
I
they
saw a
put
face,
egg in a
bro.
coffee?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
bro. Like that idea just sounded magnificent, bro. Like I'm like,
yeah,
bro, how can you mix eggs and fucking coffee, bro? It's like
yeah.
that doesn't come together, bro.
Nowadays,
And
this Dalgona coffee thing is happening. Egg coffee is
yeah,
10 times better than whatever they make.
yeah, fuck you all for the trend, bro. If you make egg coffee, you're 100% better, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Make that
And
a trend,
you should
please.
have it in Vietnam.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like it actually tasted like cake in a cup. And
for
it was like,
sure, for
fuck.
sure.
I was like, how
Bro,
can you bring so many tastes inside a
exactly,
cup of coffee?
bro. I had it like around 4 or 5 times, bro.
I
In
remember every morning you're like, I want a
yeah,
cup of egg coffee.
yeah, and it was right behind, na, in a street, like behind a hostel in Ho Chi Minh. So like, so we
Yeah,
were sorted, and we found it anywhere you go because it was made in Vietnam.
yeah, that's
Do you
true.
remember the story, na? Like why it's like why was it made and shit?
Because in the war they were in short of milk, so they like
Milk,
hide
yeah.
their coffee
This
for.
mad, bro. It's like they're like which option nahi bacha hai, so then you fucking put anda in it, and then the next thing you know, it's fucking it tastes good, bro.
Iconic
Like
dish, iconic
yeah,
like
bro.
drink.
That's how great dishes are made.
Yeah, when there's no other option.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about great
That's
dishes,
quality, bro.
what was
Uh,
your iconic meals in Vietnam? I have 2-3 iconic meals for me. One
bro,
is the Vietnamese barbecue. That
Yeah,
shit
for
was
sure,
fucking
for sure.
amazing. Second,
Second
yeah,
was fucking this pho.
pho. Yeah,
Pho, but you
PHO,
say pho,
pho.
bro. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
bastard has been
But
telling me, don't call it pho, call it pho, call it pho. Fuck you, bro. Like, no.
pho
Like,
was
but
amazing, bro.
that
Pho
was
full soup.
too good, bro. Like
Yeah.
that, like you see it in Kung Fu Panda, bro, when he just goes blah 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 blah. Blah. Like, like that's the feeling I got when you wear that Vietnamese hat. Start
Hmm.
fucking eating, bro. You feel like Kung Fu Panda, bro.
I
Hey,
have the
man.
Vietnamese hat. Pho was like something amazing because we are all
True.
used to Thai food and apna raste wala Chinese,
Chinese. Ah,
Indian Chinese, and we've never tasted like the
and
authentic Asian.
Maggie, bro, and
Yeah,
Maggie.
Maggie, obviously. So like
Bro, straight
Vietnam is filled with these underrated small like places. We would call it a bakra in Gujarati. Like रास्ते पे रेकड़ी होती है वो ऐसा टाइप
yeah,
वहां पे सबसे बेस्ट फूड मिलता है like in Vietnam. That's what I've realized. And truly to
that's a good,
experience the cultural flavors and the
yeah,
regional food, you need to go
like
and
having,
leave that image
yeah,
of I need something sophisticated. Just go there, sit there,
exactly.
and their meals are like less than $1 and all that. It's
Yeah,
like,
bro, it's like too cheap and too yum, bro. Like at the same time,
yeah.
you know. So it's like it's a good place to go, bro. And like everybody's fucking nice, man. Like it's like, bro, तू किधर भी जाएगा तेरे को like प्यार से वो लोग बात करेंगे
Hmm.
and they'll serve you well,
कुछ
bro. And
कुछ
that's
ज्यादा ही
what
प्यार
Southeast
से ब्रो कुछ ज्यादा ही प्यार से
yeah.
remember Kai, the first time this
Bro,
taxi driver we get in touch with a friend. He says that
right.
this is a really like lovely human being, and
Yeah.
he helped me every time. So let's so if you're in Hanoi, just take his number and then he'll take you
Yeah.
everywhere. He's my friend. So we're like चलो फिर प्यार से बात किया उसको फोन पे
Uh,
बात किया बोला कि hi friend, how are you?
yeah.
David told
Uh,
me that you live in Hanoi. And then
right.
the first place he takes us after we get
Yeah.
into the cab, बहुत ज्यादा ही प्यार कर गया वो. He took us to this random massage parlor where he's like, you guys go, you guys have boom boom, you have
Yeah.
massage.
I come back in 20-30 minutes. Yeah. I remember.
Nice girl.
Well, damn nice guy, bro. Like Southeast Asia, man, like the people themselves are very like very welcoming, bro. That way, it's a good thing. Like you felt like you were in India, you know.
Hmm.
And that's what I loved about Vietnam, dude. It's like it's just Southeast Asia में India में जा रहे हैं बस और थोड़ा और सस्ता है.
But the unique thing is that Indians are everywhere on the planet. But when we were
Bro,
backpacking, we barely saw any Indians. Like for the first 10-12 days, I didn't see any Indian, like proper Indian guy. Because like if you go to an Indian restaurant, you see Indians.
yeah,
But if you don't,
obviously, like,
yeah. But even at the tourist places, we didn't see any.
yeah. But bro, the one place I remember and the one group of people which we saw was on Halloween, bro. The fucking
Yeah.
Gujarati uncle aunties, bro. Kem cho?
Yeah. we sneaked into this Vietnamese only party and all that, and the free drinks that he gave us, and then we started like, partying around, and then fucking from the other corner of the club, I hear this one guy say, "Hey papa, haji ek joye che ki nahi?" So then I was like, "Fuck! This is what I was waiting to hear for so long." So then I run across the whole club and I go to see there's this whole Gujarati family from Surat, businessmen, and they are very, very surprised that this traditional Gujarati family with the mom and the sasuma and everyone was around.
Bro, like that uncle had one drink in his hand, one balloon in his hand, bro. Aisa pee raha tha. I'm like, fuck, bro, kya uncle hai, bro?
And then I was like, "Tame Gujarati cho?" And he's like, "Kem che baka, iya su."
Oh, that's the best, bro. No Gujarati, you can fucking find any Gujarati, bro, you want. And he'll also be like, fuck, tu to mera bhaiya hai, bro. Ye bhaiya. At least thoda exercise hoega, bro. And next thing you know, you're fucking drunk as fuck and you
we are riding the cycle. And the thing was like we entered into like a different dimension. So after that whole city thing ended, the small part
Yeah,
of
the
it.
highway ended.
Yeah, the highway ended. It got completely dark in like 2 seconds.
And no street light at
Yeah,
all, bro.
there was nothing, and then you're just like riding along the road. Niche pani
Uh,
ki puddles the, and like I was like, fuck, how do I balance myself when I can't see anything? And I'm not able
right.
to balance myself. Still, we are like riding. Chalo, let's do
Yeah.
whatever is happening. And then dhire dhire, we just like riding, and then there's this cow in the middle of the street. And I don't come
Cows.
to. There was one firstly there was one cow in the middle of the street
Oh
just
yeah, and
standing in the
I was smart
center. You were behind me,
smart
I was
enough to
ahead.
take out my phone. I think I took out my phone or something, no?
Yeah,
Or
my
you took it
phone,
out.
my phone fell in the water that day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like I took out my phone. I'm like, child, at least this is one thing which we could
uh,
think of, bro, for like a source of light. But the thing is, how the fuck do you put the phone, bro? Like you
yeah,
couldn't. Either it was on your mouth or it
mm,
was on the cycle ka that basket, but the
stand, yeah,
basket
uh,
falling and like
yeah.
hanging and tangling, whatever it was. So then we were just seeing like partially whatever came. Like then we saw an eye. I think we saw the eye reflect. I saw the eye reflect,
See,
bro, at
I
some
was
point.
ahead you. I remember that I was ahead you. So I was cycling,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
then within like 2 meters, I saw
yeah.
something. I was
Yeah.
like, because of the like the reflection in the eye, I was like, ye kya hai? First I thought there was this jungly animal or something. I got really scared. I pulled the brake really hard, and then I was
Yeah.
like, "Shuck, stop!" And then you come, stop, and then I go close and I see what the fuck is this, because it's not moving. Also, the cow is like not even
Exactly.
generous कि इतना कोई
Right.
सामने से इतनी
मैं
स्पीड
हटता
पे
हूँ,
आ रहा
मैं
है, मैं
हटता
हटता हूँ,
हूँ।
नहीं हटा ही नहीं.
हाँ,
So then it's like India all over again. So like चलो
yeah.
आदत तो है, ऐसी ऐसी चीजें
हाँ,
करने की तो आदत है, तो we just go
हाँ,
around the car. Then we are
yeah.
riding again in the darkness, like सिर्फ moonlight है ऊपर से, and then we are just like relying on our judgment.
Yeah.
ऐसा. It's like
And my
closing your
flashing
eyes and
light.
riding a bike.
Yeah,
So
bro.
then
And
we
that was
go,
like,
and then again randomly three cows in the street standing,
bro,
and
that
they're
was
not
scary.
moving. They're just like looking at you as if, hey, bhai,
Yeah.
तू इधर क्या कर रहा है?
मेरा का डॉन है.
हाँ, मैं
Yeah.
नहीं हटेगा, तू जा साइड से.
With the side से जा. Yeah. But dude, like that was fucking scary and funny, bro. Like, do you remember how much we were laughing, bro? Like,
Yeah, I remember.
I remember a bit. Like, it was pitch dark. You don't know how you're cycling, how you're balancing your ass. भैंचोद सामने तेरे को इधर गाय मिल रहा है.
Hmm.
Next thing you know, you fucking like ऐसा तो चला रहा है आराम से, then fucking सामने गाय है भैंचोद. Like,
हाँ,
bro, like it was fucking funny, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it felt like India. It's like अपन
yeah,
रात
yeah.
को इंडिया में चला रहे, no street light. ऐसा गांव में चला रहे ना, वैसा ही feeling आता है.
हाँ,
Like home, like चल, because you feel like तू गांव में गया है,
hmm,
उधर ऑप्शन नहीं है तो तू साइकिल ही चलाएगा. तेरे
hmm,
को सामने अभी गाय दिख रहा
hmm.
है. And like और कुत्ते भी भौंक रहे हैं. It's like you
हाँ,
feel like it's a feeling like going to an Indian village, you know.
yeah.
Think about it, and roads are also not proper.
Hmm.
So like that was like one remarkable experience. मेरे को बहुत मजा आया.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was another scene. And what I felt through this trip is how easy it is to connect with strangers.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
living your life in Mumbai, you don't get to see that side of life where you're like you can connect with everyone, because people are so busy in their own shit that they don't
Yeah.
have time to like just go out and connect with strangers. And I think that was
Exactly.
one thing that's backpacking and traveling in Southeast Asia did for me, to see how friendly people are. You can just vibe with, like Ben.
So like connect.
Ben was like just the
That's what
first
I was
time
thinking. That's what I
we
was getting
saw.
to, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say, bro. Like Ben was the first guy we came across,
yeah.
and the
Just
next thing,
randomly stood on the side of the street. He just said like, "Hi, what's up?" and all. And then we
Mhm.
started roaming around with him for the next 2 hours and all. And we made
Yeah,
him say all the
yeah,
Indian phrases and all. Pehli
yeah,
fursat mein nikal.
yeah. But that was sick. Bro, that gave me like a push, bro. I'm like, it's Vietnam. Like I was a bit anxious in the start. Like, मेरे को लगा like, bro, हम लोग like we stick to each other, you know, like
Yeah.
we won't like bond and all. Like I had that because since it was my first backpacking trip.
Yeah.
I was sort of relying on you, right?
Yeah, you were
Because like I've
you
never
at
traveled
the
alone
yeah
properly, bro, like that.
at the start of the trip you were like, "Ki, let's be close to each other in this trip so that matlab,
Yeah,
we can bond also and then we can experience things together." But I think as
exactly.
the trip progressed, you were like, "Ki, yes, I can find my spot here. I can be free."
Exactly.
And I think
Because
that's what solo travel inspires me to do and would inspire anyone who tries to. See,
no, it does
since
as
it
well for
was
me as
your
well.
first time, how
Hmm.
was your experience as a first timer traveling alone?
Bro, honestly, like you've been a fucking nice friend, dude. Like you helped me understand, bro, right from packing to booking to like planning the whole trip and to like,
And to
going
not
there.
plan the whole trip. Like we
Yeah, yeah,
planned,
exactly.
yeah,
Planned where to go, but plan not what not to do. Like,
what not to do. Yeah,
exactly. So you were like, this is the place we want to go to, but we don't know what we're going to do there. It's just
yeah.
इधर जानने का है, उधर then उधर जो जाएगा देखा जाएगा. It was
Hmm.
like that. So like that's so basically I saw this movie recently and there was this one line which it said that the best plan is no plan at all.
Yeah.
So that's what I felt, bro. Like since we didn't have anything planned per se,
It
we
was
just
like
thought
a
let's
it
see
was
what
like a
happens.
3 week unplanned adventure.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
everything happened, but anything happened, bro. Like
Yeah.
and the thing with the best experiences were the ones which we didn't expect at all. For example,
Yeah.
the tour.
Yeah.
So like meeting those guys later on, like I didn't expect that, bro. Like I was like
Karaoke or going to
karaoke.
a local concert on
Exactly.
Halloween night. Like all those things, the places that we ended up at,
Yeah.
none of it was expected.
Exactly. And that's the thing about travel, like everything's just unraveling itself. And तेरे को मालूम नहीं है क्या होने वाला है, bro. It's
Ah,
like you enjoy the moment right now. It's that, bro. Like you don't think about what's going to happen, what has happened. You
hmm.
enjoy what's happening right now. And that's what I learned, bro. Like I started enjoying the present, bro. And that's what traveling is about. And that's when you get the essence of travel. Like once you enjoy what's happening right now, you're like, fuck, bro. Like I'm actually having a good time right now. And that's what I did. And I'm pretty sure you did too as well, right?
Living in the moment. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a big part of this trip for me. That
true.
in fact, after 20 days or so, I was not thinking about home at all.
Same.
I could
I
go
didn't feel
to
like going.
Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, everywhere after this, and I would
uh,
not like feel like going back home because when you're in your element, once you find comfort in being alone, I think
yeah.
that's the best time that you enjoy by yourself.
I remember when we took that big ass jump from the fucking cave.
Yeah, that was. I think that was a proper like moment of me overcoming my fears. I would have
Yeah.
never like jumped off a cliff properly
Oh,
like ever in my life. I
shit.
feel like I don't have that fear of the unknown. I have a big fear of the unknown, so I don't have that trust of taking that leap. And then I saw all of you like you're like, "Chalo, maze mein, let's jump."
Yeah.
Then we went ahead,
Yeah.
and then there was another peak. You'll climb that again, jump, climb that again.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I have to like break this pattern. So that was a big, I would call it a seek discomfort type moment where I
Hmm.
jumped off the cliff and then,
Break up with your
af-
comfort zone. Yeah.
yeah, and when I was in
Uh,
the air, obviously I was scared. It scared the shit out of me, but
yeah.
that
Right.
made me the fall and coming back up. That made me realize that it was very insignificant. The thing that I was scared about,
Exactly. Once
and
you
then
do it, bro, like
yeah,
the only thing that stops you is the start.
yeah.
Like
Because you
once you
have a
stop,
lot of overthinking in your head and yeah,
exactly. Like there's a lot of shit going on in your head, bro. Your brain is telling you, like your mind's telling you, don't do it because like it comes up with all fuck all reasons, and then you
yeah,
believe it.
yeah,
So yeah,
really
now it's just
in those like three
really
seconds I was in the
relevant.
air, in the 3 seconds I was in the air, a lot of things came to my mind. I was like, "Ye chal kya raha hai, bro? Fuck!" I was in the air, and it felt like the longest 3 seconds in my life.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Once you overcome your fears now, like once you're facing your fears head on, that
Yeah,
feeling is like a lot of release of like hormones at that time because bro, like there's something you're shit scared of, right? So bro, your brain's like fuck, bro. I don't know how to process this and shit. And that's why for you it was like, oh fuck, bro, this leap, like this fall was so how do I say, long, bro, for you because you were thinking so much in your head, right?
Yeah.
And that's what, and at the same time, I'm pretty sure you liked it, dude. Like later you told me, bro, that was the most revelating, rejuvenating experience and shit. I'm like, bro, like,
So
I
the
was
same
glad
thing,
that
like
happened to you.
my recent visit to Pakistan, it was the same thing. Like I had a lot of like fears about visiting that country, and then like once I crossed the border and once I went there and I met the local people,
Hmm.
everything just went out of my mind, and I had the same like unlimited happiness that I had after I took that one jump in Phongna. Like when you
Right.
just dived into the water and I like, yeah, this is easy, I can keep on doing this.
Yeah.
Just that was the same feeling for me when I entered into Pakistan and I met the people, because of all the
Yeah.
fears and the things that you have in your mind beforehand.
And that's the great thing about travel, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a lot of self-discovery, man. Like, you just realize, oh shit, I'm scared of this, bro. And the
Yeah.
moment you overcome that, you're like, fuck, bro, ये तो कितना फुद्दू चीज़ था, bro. Like,
Ah,
what the fuck I've been scared about,
the
bro.
fears seem so insignificant once you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just tackling this thing right here, bro. It's just that once you get a hold of
Conquering your mind.
conquering your mind, once you get a hold of that, dude, you're sorted. Like, you can achieve whatever the fuck you want, man. I enjoyed every second of it, whatever it was. Given the ups and downs, bro, like it just what made the experience more beautiful, dude. And
Yeah,
again, thanks a lot,
that's
dude. Like,
yeah. Obviously, I don't want to take much credit, but yeah, for me,
nah, it's so modest, huh?
no, but I feel like for me and you, this was like a big reminder for us that living life in the unexpected, like solo
Yeah,
travel and trips like this, uh, encourage us to live ourselves to the fullest and like let go of our fears, our prejudice, and
yeah.
living in the moment and being
In the moment, yeah.
yeah, being in the present. And that's what is the most iconic and the most like memorable part of this whole trip.
Facts.
And it drove us to do different stuff when we were on that trip. So on that note, I feel like we've had like a very interesting and deep and long conversation about it.
For sure, dude.
That's
So
what
it's
I
like,
feel like I want to like do with this like new edition. I don't know what I'm gonna call it or how long this podcast type thing is gonna happen. But I really
yeah,
want to like pour my heart out and talk about genuine things with people,
right.
that means something. And that's
Hmm.
why I feel like people should listen and people should subscribe and like this video and whatever
Yeah.
all the
I mean,
shit that
what
we
else do you
talk
have to
about.
do, dude?
हम लोग इधर बैठे बैठे अपनी मरा रहे. We have revealed too
Uh,
many bits of information that is going to
yeah.
like come
And
and
also some
help us
inspiration.
again. Yeah,
And also
also
some
some
inspiration.
inspiration to go out and travel once this lockdown ends. Like defy the
And
odds.
also,
If you're scared of doing it, just do it. Like
just do it, bro. The more you're scared, the more fun it's going to be.
yeah,
Because
obviously,
the
and traveling to a country like Vietnam or traveling in India, it won't cost you that much when you live in like hostels and like in different
yeah,
people's homes and meet strangers. But
hmm,
the most important thing is to take that first step. And
yeah, like the start is where
yeah.
most people stop. So yeah, dude.
So yeah, it's been an interesting conversation, and
Maybe like
live in the present.
yeah, dude.
That's the big message we want to give at the end of this episode. So thank
Yes,
you everyone for listening to our bullshit for the last how
and
many ever minutes we've talked.
yes,
And please subscribe. Please encourage yourself
yes.
to
Please
do something.
like,
Please encourage yourself to do something that makes you feel
you
like you're living in the present and living in the moment.